It's fight night, it's fight night. Somebody go win night. Night is fight night, it's fight night. Somebody go win night, night. Yeah, it's your boy, man. Real Talk Live Sports, baby. We back at it. Man, shout out to Jaron Boots Ennis. I mean, it may feel like they stole this one from you, baby boy, but just look at it like this. The next fight, whoever that opponent, may be, is going to catch the wrath of bleep bleep. Matter of fact, also shout out to Chris Van Heerden, man. Well wishes, man. Hope you heal up. You know what I'm saying? That was a massive gash on your head. You know what I'm saying? Which points out another attribute of Boots, man. Besides probably having a chin, the bull's skull is like adamantium. You know what I'm saying? That gash was ridiculous. But you have to be careful in boxing. Your movements, everything, you have to be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a devastating headbutt. Chris, he came up the wrong way, ran into Boots, you know what I'm saying? Boulder of a skull, and you see the result because he was definitely getting dominated in that first round, possibly was going to get stopped in that first round. So I don't know if he tried to, you know what I'm saying, pull the headbutt card, you know what I'm saying, by going out. Even if he did a very excellent job, you know what I'm saying, because that gash that he caught from that headbutt was pretty massive, you know what I'm saying, which resulted in a no contest. Now, who's next for Jaron Boots Ennis? Possibly, he already called out everybody in the top 5. Now, you know the top guys are not stepping up to call his name. You keep on hearing ERROL, Spence, and Terence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, go back to back about this fight. Won't y'all call out the young lion? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's up and coming. He would have been a champion. There's no doubt in my mind Boots would have won that fight. He would have been a champion. You know what I'm saying? The IVO, aka the elbow belt, may not be prominent in some people's eyes, but a belt is a belt, is a champion is a champion. Don't diminish somebody's quote unquote talent, you know what I'm saying, by a belt that they have or do not have. Talent is always talent. Now, that's one thing people and guys in boxing, especially the top guys that have these titles, have to stop hiding behind just because you got a belt. That don't mean that you the best. You only the best until you beat the best. So if there's somebody out there saying or claiming that they're the best, whether it's coming from their mouth, their manager, you know what I'm saying, their promoter, or the fans, step up, take them on, beat the hell out of them, and claim that number 1 spot. You know what I'm saying? If you want supremacy in your division, you have to take out everybody that pretty much challenges your spot in that division. All that talk is bullcrap. I told you, people are making this game too much about money. That is a part of the legacy that Floyd Mayweather stamped on the game. You know what I'm saying? Having guys pay attention and look at and focus on their business opposed to their boxing. It shouldn't be that way. Fighters should focus on fighting. Your promoter, your team, they focus on quote unquote the paycheck, getting you the most for your value. You as a fighter, you know your value. If you're the top guy, if you're beating everybody, you know your value as a fighter. You're the best fighter. Everything else as far as the price tag on your talent and on your skills, that is decided by the fans, the promotion team, etc. So guys need to step up. Me and shout out to Blue Buzz Sports TV, man. Go over there and sub my man up. You did what I'm saying. Shout out to Blue. We was talking about this briefly, man. Blue was talking about Ugas. YORDENIS Ugas would be a great fight for Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Arguably, Ugas, he beat Shawn Porter. A lot of people think he beat Shawn Porter in that fight. But why did Shawn Porter get the nod? Because Shawn Porter is, quote unquote, he was the A side of that fight. Shawn Porter is, quote unquote, and has the name. But Ugas, you know what I'm saying? He's that guy now, you know what I'm saying? So that will be a good fight for Boots. That will be a good challenge for Boots. Ugas is a great boxer, you know what I'm saying? Possesses, you know what I'm saying, great skill, decent power. I think that'll be a good test for Boots. But I do think Boots will come out victorious in that fight because the tools that Boots have, his explosiveness, his mobility, his shot selection, you know what I'm saying, and his attitude and charisma in the ring, that will be too much for Ugas, you know what I'm saying? And the power that Boots also has is explosive, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that fight. This is just, you know what I'm saying, me put my Swami hat on. but I believe in that fight. Boots will come into that fight, and I think throughout the fight, man, he'll switch it up on Ugas. You know what I'm saying? Because Ugas coming from that Cuban school of boxing, Ugas is very talented. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be switching it up on Ugas throughout the fight and just beating him up in both stances. That's what I foresee for Boots and Ugas if they happen to fight. I don't think Boots will step into that fight in one stance, you know what I mean, orthodox or southpaw, and predominantly face the fight, go through the fight in that stance. I think he'll switch it up throughout the fight, give him different looks all throughout the fight, and just gradually beat Ugas up in that fight, and possibly can stop Ugas in that fight or knock him out if he catch him with the right shot, especially in a southpaw stance. Now, the top 5, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. I've already said this. Go back and check out my other videos, man. While you at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I believe that Boots has the tools to knock out both of these guys. Not only knock them out, but knock them off. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, fellow southpaw. Terence Crawford, southpaw and orthodox, can switch. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me. AC just came on if you guys heard that, but let's move on. Now, check this out. Shawn Porter does a lot of talking, man. He talks about, you know what I mean, like he would like to face Errol Spence again. He did give Errol some problems in that fight. I mean, with his mobility, he did land some shots on Errol in that fight, but Shawn's style is predictable, and that predictability is what got him caught and ultimately lost him that fight. Now, if he fought Terence Crawford is more of a tactician, so he will pick Shawn Porter apart. A lot of that, you know what I'm saying, lunging in and trying to be aggressive that Shawn Porter does, he's going to run into a lot of shots if he faces Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is going to keep Shawn Porter at the end of the jab all night. You know what I'm saying? And stepping up, facing, if he chose to face, hypothetically, if he chose to face Jaron Boots Ennis, I think Boots would knock Shawn Porter out. Because, see, Boots is more mobile than Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. He's more mobile. His legs is better. So a lot of that irky-jerky in and out, bouncing side to side that Shawn Porter does, Boots will be able to capitalize on that movement. And his punch selection and shot selection is a lot better than Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a master of the basics. You know what I'm saying? You look at him in the Danny Garcia fight, man. He approached that fight. He was in high guard. A lot of the shots that Danny was throwing, man, you know what I'm saying? Errol was just, you know what I mean, picking them off, parrying them off. You know what I'm saying? He really wasn't doing too much, but he was extremely effective. Errol is definitely a master of the basics, and you got to have a solid foundation in order to be good at anything, especially boxing. You have to have solid foundations. Now, Boots not only has these attributes, but Boots has so much more. I heard somebody make a comment, you know what I'm saying, like he's kind of reminiscent of like a young, possibly Floyd. And what's the other guy you say? Roy Jones. Now, as far as being flamboyant, energetic, being a showman, you know what I mean? A showman, in the ring, I definitely can see that as far as attributes, as far as Roy Jones. But the shots that Boots throws, some of them is like Roy Jones, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially like if he's in, you know what I mean? If he likes to throw like a lot of lunging shots, but they're quick and they're accurate. Boots, I believe, have 74-inch arm reach, you know what I mean? So Boots has nice reach, and he's quick, he's explosive. So once you put all these things together, and that's what a lot of fighters don't do. They don't tie all of their attributes and skills together. That is why Danny Garcia lost that fight, because he put none of his qualities together. You know what I'm saying? He went into that fight still doing the same thing. And I told you guys in the previous video, man, go back and check it out while you at it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Danny has to get better as far as with his punch selection and also his defense. He can't keep on trying to rely on that no-look left hook. His right hand is developing, but he has to get better in the footwork department, and he has to begin to let his hands go. Slowly but surely, Danny Garcia is turning into another Adrian Broner. If you look at Danny in that fight, man, Errol beat him up, you know what I'm saying, at the end of a jab. But getting back to Boots, man, before we wrap this up, anybody in the top 5, I believe Boots could not only hold his own, but I believe Boots could knock him off. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit bigger than Errol and Terence. You know what I'm saying? His reach, I think him and Spence may have the same reach. I think Spence does have a 72 to 74 inch arm reach advantage as well. But it'll be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a good fight. But I do believe. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Boots can wash all these top guys. No, man. A victory can go either way. But as far as having the tools and the talent and the knowledge to beat these guys, Boots has it. He said it himself, man. He's a different animal. And you don't see that too much in boxing. When you see these rare talents, man, who have all the tools and attributes, man, to really not only become a champion, but to remain a champion for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like Gary Russell been a champion for I don't know how long. You know what I mean? You could say what people are scared to step up and fight him, possibly. But as far as having that reign, I believe that Boots, once he becomes a champion, especially from the WBC or the WBA, the IBF, one of those houses, especially the WBC, I believe that he can represent that division and that belt for a long, long time. It'll take somebody very, very special and Boots to have a real bad off night in order to knock him off once he gets on that throne. Now, could I be wrong? Of course. You know what I'm saying? But can I be right? I think so. But we won't know until we see these fights. So YORDENIS Ugas, man, hey man, call Steven Espinosa and Showtime, man, and get let's see if we can get this thing popping, man, because guess what? The fight was ended in round 1. So Boots is still fresh, man. He can get back in the ring sometime in late January. I'm sure, like he said, he's ready to fight tomorrow. So I'm sure sometime in late January, probably early February, they can probably line something up and have Boots back in that ring. Now, will it be another title shot? I don't know. I hope it will. But like I said, fighting Ugas, you know what I mean? I believe that'll be a good fight. I believe that will be a good fight and a good test, because see, if he can knock Ugas off, guess who my next opponent will be? Instead of just calling out the top 5, I'll start calling out Shawn Porter. Because see, once you take on Shawn Porter and you knock him off and you shut him up, that will make a lot of noise. Because see, Shawn Porter, he makes a lot of noise, you know, I'm talking about this, talking about that. And the fact that he did look decent in the Errol Spence fight, that kind of gives him a little more weight and momentum to run his mouth. Because he did land some shots that nobody else has landed on Errol Spence. Kell Brook caught him with a couple of shots, but Shawn Porter put hands on him a little bit more, but nothing too dominant, nothing too dangerous where Errol Spence was hurt. But he did touch him up, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of that fight, you did see, you know what I mean, Errol, like, you know what I mean, he did take a couple of shots from Shawn Porter. That's why Danny Garcia, everybody was like, and Danny said ringside, like, what? If Shawn Porter hit you that many times, man, like if I catch you with some of them shots, I'm gonna knock you out. But he went in there and didn't do anything. So that's what's not only so disappointing about Danny Garcia and Errol Spence's outing, but the fact that he said he was going to do this and he did nothing. He got totally shut down. So I told you guys before, man, could you possibly see a Jaron Ennis and a Danny Garcia, the battle for Philly? I believe so, but I believe that probably would happen maybe like a year or two down the line. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, hate to say it, but Danny gotta build himself back up after that showing. He has to go out there and win a couple of fights in dominant fashion before he can even talk about possibly stepping in the ring for a title again before he retires out of the sport. So moving forward, everybody knows Jaron Ennis has a bright, and dominant future. So who will be his next opponent? Will it be Ugas? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I heard Hooker. Who knows? Or Ortiz, young champion. Who knows? I think that'll be a good fight. Ortiz, he's a you know what I mean, solid. You know what I'm saying? Solid young fighter. He's running out of the RGBA. Shout out to Mikey Garcia and company and family. You know what I mean? Salute to Ellie. But we shall see, man. We shall see how things progress moving forward. But Jaron Ennis, looking at how he was handling Chris Van Heerden, I told people, man, like once people start waking up, as they say, once they start smelling that coffee, and that's what they're doing. So now people is really looking at Boots like, you know what, man, like this dude is special, man. Like he is really going to be something, not only in the welterweight division, but boxing, period. He's going to be special. So I'm glad people are starting to wake up and see possibly the future and the face of boxing, because a lot of these guys, your Canelos, your Terence Crawfords, and your Errol Spencers, these guys are in their 30s. So they're not going to be quote unquote reigning supreme for that long. You know what I'm saying? So the next and new faces of boxing, you guys, are coming up. Matter of fact, they're already here. Shout out to Boots, man. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to his father, Bozzy, in the dungeon, and Philly, holding it down for the city. You dig what I'm saying? And boxing, period, man. So salute to the fans, salute to the subs. If you haven't subbed up yet, man, click that subscribe button, hit that like button, share on all your social platforms, man. Facebook, IG, Twitter. Holla at your boy, man. It's your boy Real Talk, aka the Ghetto Stephen A, man. Salute, much love. Stay blessed, stay humble, stay motivated. Protect yourself at all times, man. Guard up, mask up, because it's a war going on outside, ladies and gentlemen, and none of us safe from it. Salute. Holla.